Well, coming up tomorrow at 10 o'clock, the Alzheimer's OC Club of Laguna Woods Village will be having a meeting, and they're going to have a doctor there, Dr. Kent Papard, PhD, who's a clinical psychologist. But today we have on from Alzheimer's Orange County, we have Dan Daly. Good to see you, sir.
Nice to see you
as
again,
always.
Ken. Always
Happy
a
New
pleasure
Year
to be here.
So a couple things we're going to talk about today. One of them is risk factors related to brain health. And I imagine there are a lot of risk factors. Probably the number one, or probably the top two, is something that is might run in your family, and then the other one is age, of course.
Correct.
Yeah,
correct.
two things you can't do anything about.
Right. Yeah, those are the, it's either genetics,
Yeah.
or which is usually represents probably about less than 5%
Okay.
of all the cases out there. And you still have a range anywhere from 45 now all the way up to about 90.
Mm-hmm.
That you also have modifiable risk factors. And these
Okay.
they're designated as modifiable because there are some things you can do to change the outcome. You know, starting off with a healthy diet, no question about it. And also being able to control obesity through your diet. Hypertension can be controlled either through medication and a lot of exercise.
Yeah.
And as far as the diabetes is concerned, there's a lot of stage 2 diabetes out there right now that people, as a result of overeating, a lot of starchy foods, white bread, a lot of pasta. If they avoid those things, they're going to avoid a lot of problems with diabetes. So those are the risk factors that can be, or your lifestyle can be adjusted, and it'll have a positive impact on that. And these are the things that Dr. Papard is going to be talking about tomorrow. I might also add that he does a lot of work with a lot of geriatricians and neurologists throughout Orange County. And his focus is always on brain health and all the contributing factors, both pro and con, regarding brain health. So it's going to be a very, very interesting presentation.
Yeah. You know, also what I've read related to that is, you know, people think that having a super ultra low fat diet is great, and in many cases your brain needs a certain amount of fats. It needs and the amino acids that come from that as well, right?
Yeah, sure. And you also need a certain level of cholesterol.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is important in the diet as well. It's just that when you go to the excess is where the problems start to accumulate.
Yeah.
And then you have a very negative outcome.
Also related to that, we've often heard that strategies for keeping your brain stronger. There's a lot of things that people can do, right? And very simple things.
Very simple things, starting off with exercise. There are exercises you can do to improve your balance. There are things that you can do around your home to make your home safer.
Right.
Quite often, older people, they might like the look of a shag carpet. Worst possible thing you can have in your home.
Right,
very
especially
easy
if it's an orange one.
Yeah. Very easy to trip over.
Yeah.
And damage your body when you fall. Avoiding sharp objects in the home. Design-wise, they might be very appealing, but on the health note, it's not desirable to have that. Also, reducing the amount of alcohol. A lot of people, they read about the fact that, wow, a glass of red wine a day is going to have superb beneficial effects for me. So what if I increase that to 2, or if I increase it to 3, then it's triple the effect. Well, that's a major mistake that they can be making. So very limited use of alcohol.
Okay. Now, as far as just kind of brain exercises and things you can do, I mean, simply picking up a book and reading it, or all kinds of different things nowadays that are available to you, very easily available to you. There's even these brain exercise apps that you can get that are wonderful. I think one of them is called Luminosity or something.
Yeah,
but there's many of them.
That's one. Still the old standbys, crossword puzzles, Sudoku, anything that's stimulating the brain, that forces you to think.
Right.
Still, that is very, very important. And whenever they do these polls, or they do these research studies, these mini studies with seniors, socialization is right at the top of the list. Quite often people, when they retire, they'll have a tendency to stop working. Now they stop their career, but there are a lot of other things they can be doing in the form of work that's going to be very beneficial where they're using their brain. And whether it be woodworking, whether it be just walking, whether it be bird watching, anything at all that's stimulative to the brain and increasing the blood flow to the brain is very important.
Yeah, exactly. And again, like you said, there's so many things that people can do, and they're very easy to do. You know, take up a new hobby or whatever it may be, and you know, learning something new is probably the best thing. Of course, here in the village, there's so many opportunities for different kinds of classes and getting out there and meeting people that it's endless, really.
This community is probably the most active community of all the senior residential facilities throughout the United States. I mean, you got the weather, it is very conducive. You've got the numerous activities in the form of games. They have the Olympics here every year. I mean, you've got golfing, you've got tennis.
Yeah.
There are all kinds of clubs from A to Z, starting off with the Alzheimer's Club. I can tell you that, and I've been to every one of the club meetings that we have, regardless of who the speaker is, at the end of that presentation, the questions that are asked are very, very curious questions that people ask. You can tell that they've done their research on the subject matter, and they're very attuned as to learning more. And again, you know, that's part of the equation as far as staying active and staying up to date as to what is going on out there.
Yeah, exactly. Again, tomorrow I want to remind people about the meeting that is going to be at 10 o'clock, and you know, RSVP is not required, but it's preferred, and the number is 949-757-3721. And I'm looking
Clubhouse
3, room 2. I'm looking at it's at the bottom here. You're all invited to go, and so your guest speaker is Kent Papard, PhD clinical psychologist, and you're going to talk about various strategies to keep the brain stronger, modifiable risk factors that are related to brain health, age-related risks, and threats to brain health as well. So it's going to be a good meeting.
The theme is keeping the brain stronger for longer.
Yes.
It's like a muscle. You either use it or lose it.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's going to put on a great presentation. It's going to be well worth it.
All right, fantastic. Good
Great
to see you, Dan. We'll
Ken.
see you again soon.
And thank you for your support going into 2017.
Yeah, Happy New Year to you, and we'll be right back.